now it's taken for granted. Security training is absolutely built in. There's all the security trainings you need to do, and absolutely right that those happen. Thinking back to when the independent launched, there kind of hadn't been any wars for ages. There'd been the Vietnam War, which was like way back in history in any case. Like now I realize it was only 10 years earlier she'd finished, but it seemed like a lifetime earlier. And so when the first Gulf War hit in 1991, it was like, wow, there's a war that we're having to cover. And lots of people went out in different ways and did some very, very powerful reporting of those different things. But it was interesting, the Independent was so flush in those days, and it was so confident, and there were so few wars, that every single person who went ended getting some kind of significant amount of danger money. I can't remember how much. But you just went and winged it, basically. And then after that, the wars kind of came thick and fast. So there were several wars in the Balkans. There was the Chechnya War. There were a number of other African wars. All of these wars were going along. And very quickly, the Independents stopped saying, oh, here's some danger money. And in those days, you were just expected, you were lucky if you got the bulletproof vest, which again was like, oh, you need a bulletproof vest. And you felt a little bit of a wimp if you'd actually gone for one. And everything was completely improvised in a way that now is kind of unthinkable. I think, really? We were allowed to do this? You barely told your editor where you were going and what you were doing. You just kind of assumed that if something really bad happened, he or she would learn later, pretty soon, because bad news travels. But the mobile phone world where you could always be in touch completely didn't exist in those days. So it was almost like the old-fashioned world where you kind of send a postcard and hear again in 2 months' time. So the journalistic equivalent of that was they never quite knew. And in a way, there was a kind of freedom in that. It was, of course, a crazy way of operating, but there was a kind of freedom in it as well.